struggling. Hey, I'm DJ Av, and today is Friday, and we are doing a review on the Andrew Chef's Parallel Particles, which is also a collaboration with Wave Audio. Andrew Chef's, by the way, is a Grammy-winning, multi-platinum engineer, and pretty much like a genius. So, but anyways, I'm just gonna play the demo. It's a collaboration between me and JW Lucas. So we're gonna play it in 3, 2, 1. Lego.
Trap Cam.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just talk about the GUI first off. As you see, it's a very interesting GUI. It's very, very visual. This plugin itself is very, very visual. And, you know, there's certain things that I want you to pay attention to, because I think that the way that Waves is starting to design their plugins, they're starting to design their plugins for like more or less modern day production in terms of like producers, and simplifying a lot of the options that you have, however still combining that with a great sound. And I say that because once you start off with that, as you see, you have levels. Indeed, I didn't really use this level. I do have an audio interface, but again, rest assured, you're really in the game is very accurate. You know, I decrease this and stuff like that of that nature. And if you pay attention to this middle part right here, this is like the input and this is the output area right here. So yeah, pretty much you'll see.
Trap Cam.
So basically, when the kick drum comes in, you see it's red hot, molten red in the core of the sound or whatnot, which is actually cool because it's like a nuclear generator type looking GUI. Now, the other things I want to talk about as far as understanding the interface itself is the fact that it has 4 different areas, and you know, when the name hints at parallel particles, like parallel what, like parallel EQ, parallel compression of that nature, with certain things that are kind of worked in its own perspective here. So obviously sub works with the sub harmonics or the lower harmonics in here, and you know, it kind of takes, I would say it takes like a step from the I am pusher, in which that, you know, you could boost the frequencies. Like if I was to boost that frequency, and I think I did in the original and I just missed that, boosting the frequencies actually tighten up that flow here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how serious the sub that sub option is. And let me show you. And the best way to show you is just playing the drums. So when I take it out, you'll notice that it gets massively thinner. Now, one thing I'm gonna do as of right now is just I'm gonna add it back in so you can hear it. back the frequency and the subs. Now there's another cool visual cue here. As you can see, it's supposed to thicken your lower end, and what it does, it gives a kick a lot more body than it normally would have. Universally spread, and it doesn't spread it like stereo separation. Spread it as it does boost like that main frequency. What it does in general is pile more harmonics in that particular area. So you'll still have your sub, it'll still be booming, but or however you want to approach it, versus the arbitrary term. But it will have a bigger impact. You can hear that. Dial in more viciously so you can hear more. I think I had it around there. And of course, thick is like the lower lower mid harmonics and whatnot. So it has like it portrays itself much like an EQ, but in retrospect, it's much like compression, because if I was to really dial into the output, you'll start hearing like a limiter kick in and start pushing a lot of the peaks of the song that you're working on, or the beat that you're working on, in there, and it will kind of sound unpleasant. So that you have to be kind of mindful when you're using this as well. I really do like this plugin for that measure. It took me a minute to get used to it, to say the least. However, I think that this beat in particular sounds very, very good. It sounds better than a lot of my past mixes and whatnot. Give or take that, every mix is going to be different from one another. Give or take that you do apply certain sciences of leveling your mixes and stuff like that. You're not everything is going to be leveled the same depending on what particular genre that you're in. But as you can see from using that for the subharmonics, you've used to work and set up a drum bus, versus putting in your master bus or whatnot, because you can use this on practically anything that you want. Even if you just want to use it on your 808, or if you want to use it on like your drum kit, like a real drum kit, you have that option of doing so. Bite relates to like your mid and high harmonics. So I mean, if I was to draw this out here, what it would essentially kind of look like, as far as adding like a resonance bell, it boosts in a manner of like a resonance bell, and you actually can hear that. And that's actually how I like to mix this in particular. Like if I was to go to my snare, you see that I use a resonance bell, and that's to make sure that it has a presence within the track. So it will seem like it wouldn't be necessary. Like why would you not do that? But there is a particular manner that how it handles the frequencies, versus how if I was to use just a bell in either the low, mids, or highs, and it's more or less that it is, again, but parallel particles, you get some of the dry and some of the wet. So it gives you the best of both of your signals that you're working with, and versus it having your mix convoluted in one particular manner. In parallel compression, and I'm not really trying to relate this to parallel compression, but that is one of the things that you think about parallel, which parallel will look kind of like this. And I don't recommend that you do that with a dry wet knob. Parallel compression, parallel mixing is kind of a thing that is handled best by a full plugin, or by something that is made for parallel mixing, or parallel compression, or whatever you're trying to do. But like this right here, and with that being held there, you get your you get a specific kind of feel to your music, and the results are as such. Again, air relates to the high frequencies, and pretty much carries the same kind of particular manner as if you was doing resonance, but instead of it just being all wet, which, you know, if you're running a EQ in general, especially like the EQ that you get right here in FL Studio, is going to be all wet instead of wet. You're wet in your dry signal. Hopefully that makes sense. So, you know, that's basically about it that I really want to talk about for this, because it's not really much to it, but it's really good. My only concern for this plugin is that the fact that it does indeed, if you see once you see this little stop sign right here, it crashes within FL Studio 12.3. I think they do have to. They're probably going to have to rekindle and rework that. I don't know why this particular plugin crashes. I checked out other Wave plugins, and they're not having issues within FL Studio 12.3. So, you know, I don't know. Wave's probably holler at me, but however, you know, obviously it still does work, but it has a tendency to crash every now and then. But other than that, though, I really recommend it, and I'm gonna go ahead and just stamp it up, because I didn't want to hold y'all guys up. So, you know, what do I rate this? I definitely have it's really good. It's really decent, but they do have to fix like that particular crashing issue that it has within Windows 10 on a quad-core processor. So it'll have to be fixed in a manner, but I rated it at 3.5 respects. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, please leave a comment. I'm DJ Ab McCree. Yes, I do recommend this. It's really good. Just that one small issue, but yeah, worth it. I'm DJ Av. Y'all have a good day.